You're listening to the Scars and Guitars podcast series. My name's Andrew Mackay-Smith, and the interview subject I've got coming up for you is Scottish legend Les McKeown from the outfit Bay City Rollers. The reason for the conversation is to promote the 15 dates across Australia that the Bay City Rollers are performing across June and July of 2017. 15 dates. There you go. Anyway, Les is a legend, and let's have a listen to what he has to say. Here we go. Les McKeown from the Bay City Rollers, welcome to the Scars and Guitars podcast. Congratulations on a stellar career. What's your take on the Bay City Rollers' place in the history of rock and pop music?
Well, can't really, don't know, to tell you the truth. I mean, I just was doing a couple of interviews this morning from your friends in Australia, and I was just thinking back. I mean, I'm 61 years old now. I was thinking back to when I was 19 years old, and I came to Australia for the first time, and how exciting it was, and what an adventure. It was great. All the people there in Australia are absolutely lovely, and they're still probably just as lovely as it ever was. So I'm excited about coming back. I haven't been there for 10 years, so yeah, come on down.
Wonderful. And look, the Bay City Rollers received the Sir Rio Starkus Living Legends Award at the 17th Scottish Music Awards in 2015. What did that mean to you?
I tell you what, the best thing that happened to me so far was play with Rod Stewart to 20,000 people last Wednesday in the Glasgow Hydro. That was great. We did a charity for the Celtic Foundation, and that was absolutely amazing. Wow, what a great gig.
Well,
I'm so buzzed about that.
Well, that sort of alludes to one of the questions that I had further down the list, but I'm going to bring it forward now. Now, one of our heroes in Australia is Tommy Rogic, but I think he's also a Scottish icon these days as well, because he's just scored a famous goal the past week for Celtic to help them win the Scottish Cup final. So I imagine you're pretty chuffed with the result.
Hey! Yeah, right on. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I mean, success is a great thing. I mean, it really is. I'm so lucky that I've had the fans stick with me all these years. You know, I thought they would get fed up with me, but they still like hearing me sing. So I'm very, very lucky about all that stuff. So, yeah, I mean, I go to, like I said, I go to Japan every year. I do 150 plus gigs in the UK every year. People love to come and see us sing and play. So you could say blessed if it's not too religious a word. So I'm back in my bed now. How are you?
I'm very good. And tell me something. I did quite a bit of preparation for the interview, and at times it wouldn't have been easy to be a Bay City Roller with missing royalty checks, questionable management practices by former managers and band members coming and going. Would you do it all over again?
It was a bit of a cruel life, really. The manager was such a beast and a really bad person. But yeah, the thing is, you got to just get over it and move on. You know, if you let those people control you, you know, that's the worst thing that can happen to you. Don't let it control you. Get over it. I mean, like the record company now is settled with us with all the money and all that stuff. So it wasn't as good as we wanted it to be, but they're back friends with us now. They're releasing records and they're happy. They paid us some money, you know, not the kind of money we wanted, but at least they did a little bit towards saying, you know, okay, we're sorry, kind of thing. The manager was a real animal. I just get over it. I mean, I had to do, I didn't have to do it, but I went to 4 months rehabilitation. I wasn't about the manager, that was about my alcohol problem. And I did that back in 2008 and came out the other side reasonably adjusted and went back on the road and found my love again. So I'm happy with that.
I was reading on, this is not a source that can be always, crucially verified, but Wikipedia has an entry saying that you guys have sold over 300 million albums. Is that correct?
I don't know about Wikipedia. I think it's a lot of bullshit, that one. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's pretty close to the true figure, really. Yeah,
Yeah.
Maybe 250 million, something like that. But I wouldn't know about that because I don't have the royalty checks to prove it.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah. You did win that legal spa session with the Arista, I think it was with. Is that correct? It was in New York.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, good on you. You took them on and you got at least part of what you were owed. Yeah, but the record companies have a history of doing that to artists that have provided so much success for the record companies themselves. But it's good, mate, that you've got perspective on these
You know
things.
what? Yeah,
Yeah.
those record companies have to make enormous amounts of money to survive. Clive Davis is brilliant, a great. I like him as a friend. I was really quite close to him. And we had a good time. Of course, at the end of the day, the record company didn't pay us the kind of money that we wanted, or that we were due, bound by a record contract. But at the end of the day, we have settled with them now. We are friends with them now, and I'm happy that that's all been sorted out and it's not an ongoing situation.
Yeah, no, fantastic, mate. Yeah. So, we're talking about the band again. So, you're obviously the main man. You're up front. Has there anybody that's been with you through the journey ever since the 70s that's still in the band alongside of you?
No.
You're the survivor.
I put the band back together, or tried to put the band back together for two Christmas shows, 2015 and 2016. The only people I could get who were willing to do it and all that kind of stuff were Alan and Stuart Wood. So we put the band back together and called it the Basic Role Reunion for Christmas shows 2015, 2016. And then it all kind of fell apart again, just like the old days. It was like, but I'm still pals with Alan. He's a great guy, but
Yep.
He's a whole different thing. It's him and his wife, and it's just a bit of a problem. So I just sort of thought it's too much hassle.
What keeps you going, though? What keeps you motivated?
Well, when I go out to play my concerts, I meet a sea of smiling faces, people who just want me to be the best that I can be and make them enjoy themselves. So that's what keeps me going.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, I'm not even going to say it's a cliche, but look, the minuscule amount of, well, I play in cover bands, so I was about to say minuscule amount of interaction that I have with fans. I'm playing in front of people that are drinking, right? So, but I see the same thing when I'm on stage, and I see 20 or 30 or 40 people, or however many people there might be in a small room here in Brisbane or the Sunshine Coast, and they're smiling, but I can only imagine what it would be for someone like your good self who's touring the world, and you've got thousands of punters staring back at you, and you really are a release, or you're an outlet for them, but you're not just that either. You're also giving people an opportunity to relive part of their youth.
That's right. That's the best thing about it all, and that's what I try to. When I talk to the audience and stuff like that, I talk about those days back when we were all young and all that kind of stuff. It's great. I mean, I've only got, I don't know how many years left, but hopefully I'll be alive for a long time. But it's great to be able to do this again and again and again. I've been doing it for, let's see, I was enlightened to leave school when I was 15, so that was 19 something.
Yeah, gosh.
A long time. And I just joined a band and started to sing, and everybody thought I was pretty good. And next minute I was in the Basic Rollers, next minute going to the Chaps, and then it's all been the same thing ever since. I've never lost the love for singing, never.
Yeah, no, that's awesome, mate. And I think when you love what you do, it's again not trying to allude to a cliche, but when you love what you do, people can't help but love you back for loving what you do.
Oh, that's really nice to say that. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
but I think you're right. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. You can't say that's for sure.
No, that's right. And you alluded to something in your previous statement. You have been doing this obviously a long time. And so my question now is, if it all ended tomorrow, do you think you've achieved everything you wanted to with the Bay City Rollers and as a musician and an artist?
No, don't say it's going to end tomorrow. No, I've got an Australian tour to do. Yeah, I think recently I got a great chance to record some of the songs I wrote when I was a child. So, when I was 18, 19. When I was in the Bay City Rollers, I got a chance to record those songs again. It's actually available. If you pop over to iTunes, you can listen to it for free. It's called Les McKeown Lost Songs, and I've got 2 albums worth of stuff like that. The next album is coming out in December. Lost Songs too. These are songs that are composed back when I was like 18, 19, 20, that kind of thing. And they were lost because the people around at the time had told me that the songs were crap. and the songwriters and the producers and all that stuff said, no, they're not good. So now I'll be able to record them with a great producer called John McLaughlin.
Okay, yep.
He's from Glasgow. And he loves the songs, so he loves my idea. So I'm so excited about that. It's like a new lease of life, really. I mean, I can't tell you how great it is, but it is absolutely spiritually brilliant.
So, spiritually brilliant, yeah, really good point, because you've got to have that happiness of spirit, and that certainly comes across. I did watch a few of your YouTube performances, and you definitely look like as though you're up there having fun, and you look like you're a born musician and performer too, so that usually helps. But my next question...
yeah.
So my next question, I had the pleasure of talking to John Steele, of course, the drummer in the Animals, not too long ago, and I asked him this question because a bit like him, you're an original. You've been doing this a long time, and you've been doing interviews for a long time as well. So this next question's a bit interesting, but are there any questions that you're tired of answering? Or are there any questions that keep on getting asked, you think, my God, not this again?
Not really. It all really depends on the person who's asking the question.
Yeah, fair enough. Yep.
No, I must say, I do get... You've obviously done a little bit of research. You've been on Google and you've Googled Les McKeown or something like that. But people who haven't done that, it's quite annoying. And that's actually usually people in the UK. And they ask me some basic fundamental questions like, about the band in the past that you could easily find out on the internet. And they've asked me those questions. And I do get a little bit upset, or let's say a little bit frustrated when, people have not done their homework, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, agreed. I think when you get an opportunity to chat to someone like yourself, I think you've got to honour that by doing the research. And I think it's fun too, but, you've got to look at this I look at this as a passion. Actually, I'll share something with you quickly. I've recently resigned from my role in a telecommunications company as an account executive to do what I'm doing now full time. So it doesn't feel like work. It feels like I'm following my passion, but I'm trying to monetize it and turn it into something. But doing all of the research is really a lot of fun. There's things I find out about people that I would never have found out if I wasn't incentivized, if you like, through the course of an interview.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, that's for sure, yeah. I've had an interest in life, that's for sure.
Yes, yeah. So is there a question that you've never been asked that you wish had been asked? So that's a bit of a different question, but something that you wish somebody did ask you that nobody's thought to ask.
Yeah, you just ask away, I can't really about a question that I've never been asked, to tell you the truth.
Oh, fair enough, yeah. So...
I'm trying to password from my computer. There you go.
tell me to back off or what have you. You know, when I ask this question, I'm not trying to intrude on privacy or anything like that here. But of course, over the course of doing my research, I came across a ream of articles that alluded to your sexuality and the like. Is that something you're comfortable talking about now, or should we just leave that be?
Oh, no, I'm comfortable talking about that. Yeah, I've had all sorts of things happen in my life, and I'm easy to talk about it. People, my fans, everybody knows me inside out, so I'm all right with that. Yeah, go ahead.
The reason I asked the question is, we're living in a day and age where there's obviously, we have a lot of information about what's happening in the world these days, and you are an icon and you are somebody that people look up to. So have you ever had someone reach out to you that's been in a similar position and said, thank you for doing what you've done and, sharing your story because now I feel comfortable about sharing mine?
Yeah, quite a lot of people have reached out to me, and it's actually become a little bit overwhelming, to tell you the truth. So many people, so many of the fans, I can't believe how many of the fans were, let's say, abused basically when they were younger and stuff like that. And so they share their stories with me because they know I've been there too. So I'm quite happy with that. It's okay.
Yeah, no, good on you. Yeah, I thought it was very courageous. You only have to read the British tabloids to understand that they can be voracious in their appetite for controversy and for being very nasty.
They're a bit over the top, that's for sure.
Yeah, we don't quite have it down here, but yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, fair enough. And look, I'll change track and I'll talk about the music again. And touring, how do you find it and what's your favourite country to tour?
Mm-hmm. Well, I definitely enjoy touring Australia, that's for sure. But every February for the last 20 years I've been going to Japan, which is great. Take my wife. We have a bit of a family time as well. So all the guys in the band love Japan. Yeah, cool. And I'm sure they're going to love Australia because these guys, maybe two of them have been to Australia with me before because some of the guys in the band have been with me 27 years. So it's, we're going to have a good time.
Fantastic. And I should have asked this question earlier, sorry, but what's your favourite memory from the 70s? I mean, you were the first band since Beatlemania happened to inspire that kind of hysteria out of young ladies and the like. But so, what's your memories from that period?
Well, I remember Melbourne was all shut down. We were in the middle of it all, and I remember we were in a limousine, and I remember the fans all grabbing onto the limousine, and they actually started to squash the roof, started to squash down on us. And that was pretty epic, really.
Yeah.
But, those were great days. They were great days. Nobody got hurt. Nobody was hurt. So that's the most important thing.
Yeah, no, agreed. And what about the? I was telling a lass in the office today that I work in that I was interviewing you tonight, and of course she got very excited and wants to listen to the interview as soon as it's finished. I'm going to send her a raw copy of it. But she was telling me that about the socks. I didn't go deep enough into the research to actually get to the point, but she's saying that people used to wear stripy socks. Is that a well known?
Yeah.
Yeah, can you tell us about that aspect of the band? Or the band's followers? Yep.
Yeah, we stripy socks. We used to wear these stupid stripy socks, that's for sure. The tartan was the thing that really made us huge all over the world. The tartan on the shorts, the tartan on the trousers, and all that kind of stuff. So we became a kind of like a sales machine for Scotland. Really, we were always saying Scotland, Scotland, Scotland. We love Scotland, and there's a lot of people, of course, in Australia who came from Scotland, who emigrated to your country. I remember when I was very young, maybe 9 or 10 years old, my next door neighbour moved to Australia, Jim Redpath, And he's still there. He's still in contact with me. He still sends me, Facebook messages.
Nice. Yeah.
All that kind of stuff. So it's great to be able to touch back to those people who were around when I was a kid. It's brilliant.
How, on that note, we do have that. My heritage is Scottish as well. I'm Australian, but if you go back, my heritage is Scottish. How important is your Scottish identity to you as a person?
Well, it used to be a lot more important than it is now, but I think it's great. I mean, like I said, last week I was on stage. There was 20,000 people, Celtic fans, in the Hydro in Glasgow, and they were just brilliant, absolutely great. So the people in Scotland are lovely people, just like the people in Australia, I'm sure, who love to be Australian, and they love to be Scottish. So, let's make it happen.
Yeah, fair enough. And look, I did mention the football earlier. What's your take on the Old Firm rivalry between the blue jerseys and the green and white stripes? Is that something that's still, in your view, based along sectarian lines, or are people still or are people now free to say choose a team based on which team they like, effectively?
Well, I have to tell you that I'm not a big football fan. I'm a petrol head. I love watching Formula One and motorbike.
Yeah.
I don't really. I mean, a couple of guys in the band are mad Tottenham fans and Arsenal fans, and they always want to watch football. And I'm thinking, why would you want to do that? So I'm not really a big football fan at all.
No, fair enough. I just went to the Melbourne Grand Prix, actually, where Sebastian Vettel won that one there. Do you go to the... where's the Grand Prix held in England or the UK, sorry?
Ooh, Sebastian Vettel, no.
Well, we wanted our man to win,
Good guy.
Daniel win, but...
We are very lucky. We get a lot of Formula One coverage over here on the BBC and all that kind of stuff. And of course, there's a couple of great Australian drivers who are now commentators on the BBC. It's
Mark
great
Webber.
to see them.
Yeah.
Brilliant guys. Yeah, really
good bloke.
great.
Yeah, no, I really enjoy it. It's my first time down at the Formula One. I went down with a mate, actually, and I drive a V8. I love V8 cars, and Formula One is just like the next step up. But I think it's one of those events that you've really got to go to in person first, really experience it live and hear the full roar of the engine as it's coming around a corner,
Yeah, it's so good. It's so exciting. It's brilliant.
Yeah, that's it. So, sorry, mate, I am jumping around the all over the place here, but you are a guy as I say, that I've been looking forward to talking to. So I'm sort of just, as questions come to me now, I'm just sort of asking a question. Yeah. What would you say to a band or an artist starting out in 2017?
I'd say just pack it in, man. Leave space for me.
That's a good answer. It's probably the best answer to that question I've ever asked. So there you go.
Just give it up, man. There's no point in doing it. Just give it up.
That's a rather punk rock attitude of you to take.
Yeah, well, why not?
No.
Yeah, the way I'm here.
No, that's right. And
to be sure, it's great. It's a great life. I mean, you could expect lots of ups and lots of downs, and if you're ready for that, go ahead and do it.
Yeah. So, what's your take on the music industry right now? Then, I mean, obviously you're an established artist with a very well-known reputation and that buzzword brand. But what's your take on the industry in 2017?
Well, you know what? I really don't know. All that I do know is that I've got my own record out now. I don't know exactly how it all works, to tell you the truth. It's so different from when I was a kid, when you had, actual products, like vinyl that you would sell. And now it's all downloads and, and all that kind of stuff. So I don't quite understand it all. I just enjoy doing what I'm doing. And that's about it, really. I just enjoy. I really do enjoy performing live. It's the best thing. It keeps me going. You know what I mean? So I'm happy about that. I'm happy that people still want to come and see us, still buy the tickets and all that kind of stuff. And so yeah, I'm happy about playing live. The record side of it is great, but I don't really understand it so much anymore.
Yeah, fair enough, mate. All right, look, I'm going to let you go pretty soon, and I've got one final question, but it's split into three parts, and I ask this of all of the people that I interview, so I'd love it if you could humour me here and play along, and your answers, of course, can be as not safe for work as you like, because my program is R-rated, so here goes.
All right.
Here we go. Les McKeown, choose 3 words to describe yourself.
Happy. Courageous. What's another word? Yeah, living it up. That's more than one.
We'll put dashes on them so that make living dash it dash up, so I can make one word. There you go. That qualifies.
Yeah. Okay.
But just your second point there, was that religious? Is that what you said?
I'm not a very religious person, but I do, I do sometimes when bad things happen, like for instance, last time in Manchester.
Yeah.
You do think to yourself, oh, God, so sad, so, and then you do kind of get a bit of religion while it's going on, but that soon passes. I'm not a very religious guy.
Yep.
Unfortunately, maybe, or fortunately, I'm not sure. Bit of a Buddhist, really, when it gets down to it.
No, fair enough, mate. And okay.
My wife is she's from Japan, and my father-in-law was a Buddhist monk. Actually, had his own temple. He passed away a long time ago, but when I was there, I was pretty much into it, the Buddhist thing. It was really a good thing for me at that time in my life. So I was very appreciative of being there. Yeah.
Yeah, there are principles and tenets of Buddhism that you could adopt without actually even following the faith, and you'd be better off. Simple as that. Yeah, it's a beautiful religion, and it is one that teaches you to shoot for Zen and shoot for Zen and just hope you get somewhere halfway there, really. And well, I know that's not the actual teaching, but that's certainly what I think most of us.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like about being yourself, isn't it? It's about doing it yourself. I do believe in that. I mean, I've had to look after myself all these years, so the more I do that, the better it gets, if you know what I mean. I mean, I do some stupid things like book the hotels from the band, figure out who's going to be where, and all that kind of stuff. Should we go 1 hour towards the next gig that night, or 2 hours okay, we're finished at 10:30, we can go an hour towards the next gig, because it's like 4 hours away. So I work very hard at doing those tiny little things, but somehow it makes me really happy to do that, to work. Nobody else is doing it. I'm doing it. I'm deciding what's happening that day.
Yeah. Yeah, no, good answer, mate. Appreciate that. And look, I'll get to the next question, because I have no doubt you'll have something profound to offer here. And my question is, if you could go back to when you were 18 and give yourself some advice, what do you think you'd say?
I would say get rid of that fucking manager.
That is profound.
I'd sack that fucking... Yeah, I'd sack him right away. But you never know what could have happened. All the crap that's happened, it's so much good and it's so much bad. It's at the end of the day, I've come out reasonably okay. So I'm not too upset about it.
Yeah, fair enough. Good perspective on it, mate. It's a bit like, when I asked that question, someone the other day said it's a bit like Back to the Future. You might not be, you go and change one thing, or like the butterfly effect, you go and change one small thing and you won't be where you are right now and have all these wonderful experiences that you've got now to share with me on this call.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, who knows what could have happened just with one little tiny difference in the past. So anyway, the thing is, it's happened. It's all good. I'm in a good place now. I'm touring the world. I'm 61 years old. I can't believe it. I'm able to still be singing. It's so brilliant. So I'm happy with Larry, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, good on you, mate. Yeah, you've got a really good perspective on things, yeah. All right, so I'm up to my final question, and this is a good one. So, what 5 guests, living or dead, would you invite to dinner?
I was on the, sometimes I go on YouTube and I look up different people that I like, people like Prince. He might or may not be a good dinner guest, I don't know. People like David Bowie, who
Nice.
I spent time with back when I was leaving the base at Rose back in Switzerland. He was a great guy.
All right, I'm gonna have to pause you there. Let's share with us your David Bowie story.
Go on then.
Oh no, you're right. You share with me your David Bowie story. I love David Bowie, and any artist that mentions that they spent time with him, I'd love for you to share with the listeners what your David Bowie story is.
Oh well, we were in where was it? Some place in Switzerland. Sorry, I just forget the name of the lake right now. But we were recording our last album called Strangers in the Wind. And I met David Bowie's, the girl who looked after his son, who at that time was called Zoe Bowie. So we got together and went back to their place. And he was there with Iggy Pop. They were writing songs down the basement. Yes. And, oh God, it was just spectacular, because I've got a famous picture of me with David Bowie when I was a big fan. Back in 1971, something like that. He came to Edinburgh, and I got a picture taken with him in the hotel there. And then to meet him again was just such a big thrill. It was brilliant, and I'm in his house. I'm looking after his son and all. So
oh, right, yeah.
It was pretty spectacular. It was a great time. And he's such a great guy. He was such a great guy.
Yeah, I hear that. I keep on hearing that from people who had some interactions with him. I've never met anybody that's had. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, he actually lived in Sydney for a period of time as well.
Because he was such a good guy. He really was. He had all the time in the world for you. Yeah.
As a kid, I just loved his music, and it's just one of those. He and Freddie Mercury, long gone Freddie Mercury, of course, in Queen. Did you have much interactions with Queen back in the day?
Yeah, I used to party with him quite a lot. Oh, God, he was mad.
Okay, so yes, you've got to share with the listeners then your Freddie Mercury story. Yeah,
he was mad in a good way. He was a very nice guy. But he wanted to live life 2 times over, kind of thing. He was mad for partying, but a lovely guy, really great. I do a tribute to those guys on my show. I do a tribute medley of all the guys that I knew, like David Bowie and Freddie Mercury, and people that maybe in Australia you might not know, like the singer from Sweet, singer from Mud.
Yep.
Did you ever have Mud over there? Tiger feet and all that?
No, not that I recall, but no doubt, probably, with the greatest respect, I say this before my generation, people would know, but yeah, no, I'm not familiar. Yeah,
so there was the guy from Sweet, the guy from Mud, David Bowie, Freddie Mercury, and also Alvin Stardust. I don't know if you know him, but
heard the name, yeah.
People Oh, yeah. So we do a little bit of a medley for those guys just to remember them. It's good. It goes down really well at the shows.
Oh, good on you, mate. Yeah, no, I'm going to be at the show, so you'll be playing that part of the show, obviously, in Australia as well.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Excellent.
I will.
Excellent. So, look, we've gone off on an awesome tangent. So, you've mentioned Prince. So these are the 5 people you've invited to dinner. So I've heard Prince, David Bowie. I suppose we can include Freddie Mercury in the mix. Is that fair to say?
Oh, definitely, yeah. I would have the guy from what we think. I think I would have the singer from Sweet and Les Gray from Mud. Yeah, that would do it. That would be a nice party. Although Freddie would probably get bored and want to go partying.
No doubt he would, yeah. Well, there's a couple of times where the guest list just sounds too outstanding for me to not offer my services. So right now, if that gathering ever happens, if the 6 of you ever get together, I'd love to be a waiter at that one. Sounds like I can be part of it in some way.
Me too. Yeah. It's a shame. It's a shame it can't happen, though. It's a pity. But those guys are great. Absolutely great. I mean, I remember when I first, I actually broke into the theatre called the Odeon in Edinburgh in 1971. We climbed up the drain pipes and in through the toilet windows to see David Bowie. And Freddie Mercury was also supporting him. So that was one of the first gigs I ever got to see, because it was too expensive to actually pay for it. But yeah, so I broke in to see those guys. I risked my life.
Risk your life for rock and roll, nice.
Right. Yeah. But it was great. It was absolutely brilliant. It spiritualized me and it made me think, right, that's what I want to do for the rest of my life. I'm going to be that guy on the stage. I'm going to be a singer. So,
well, you know what? I mean, the thing is, you've done it. That's the wonderful thing about you and your life is that you can say you've actually done it. You haven't dreamed. You've actually had the motivation and the brains to do it, mate. And many of us do just dream, but you've actually gone out there and done it.
That's right. I can't. When I'm talking to you now, and you're making me think back to 45 years ago and all that kind of stuff, and I'm thinking, God Almighty, what happened? It's been a good life. It's been good. There's been some bad bits, but in general, it's been really good. Yeah.
Well, we might finish there. I really appreciate. You know what I really appreciate about this discussion is that we have had a discussion. You've been able to share a lot of information with me. It's going to make for a very interesting and very entertaining listen for anybody who tunes into the podcast. You're obviously on Facebook and on Twitter, I take it?
Yeah.
Yep.
You can look on Twitter and Facebook and stuff like that and say hello. That'd be great.
All right. Yeah. Well, I'll post it and I'll tag you in it. But look, I really appreciate it. Again, you are a living legend. I was really looking forward to having our chat today. And mate, you've lived up to you've surpassed my expectations. To be honest with you, you've been a bloody good bloke, and all the very best to you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. I'll see you down here.
I look forward to seeing you when I come to Australia.
No worries, mate. Okay. All the best.
All right. Bye-bye for now.
Thanks, mate. Catch you.
You're listening to the Scars and Guitars podcast series. My name's Andrew Mackay-Smith, and that interview subject was Les McKeown from the Scottish outfit Bay City Rollers. Thanks so much for listening.